Honestly, I don't know. If I didn't have kids during this pandemic, I probably would just do mushrooms every day. I think that would be the
Man,
go-to.
man, I've done that. So I my marijuana consumption went up wildly last year. Like fucking, my dealer I think is moving house. Like I think he's upgrading. I think he bought a Tesla. I think things are going really really well for him. And so at some point, so I was just smoking so much, and just because there's nothing else to do in it, man, I've got like a busy brain, and it calmed
Mhm.
me down. But there's also one of the times I got in his car and he's like, "You ever heard of 2CB?" I was like, "I've absolutely heard of 2CB." 2CB, it's like the way I describe it is it's a mix between like ecstasy and mushrooms. I did it once at a yeah.
What
Oh
the
man,
fuck?
yeah. So because I did it at a music festival like 5 years ago when I was like, I never want to fucking try acid because like I heard too many horror
Yeah.
stories. I don't like visuals. Like I don't want to fucking trip balls. But I took this 2CB and I was like, what are the effects? My friend was like, you'll see. And the original effects were like lights got great. All lights were amazing.
How fucking
And
stupid are we as human beings that someone's like, "What is this pill gonna do?" You'll see, and we're like,
you're like,
"Valid
okay.
response."
Yeah. Man, toxic masculinity can get me to do most things. Like I did a show about it, but I'm still not above it. Like all it takes is you go, do this, and me going, no, and you're going, bark, 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 bark. And then I'm like, fine, I'll do 12. I'll do fucking 12. I'm not a chicken. So it's so we're at this music festival, and like, so on the Friday night was Fatboy Slim, so we obviously just did ecstasy for that, and then Saturday was Snoop Dogg, so that was obviously marijuana, and then Sunday was Elton John, right? And it turns out one of the effects of 2CB is it makes you know every word to every Elton John song. Like I could have sworn I only knew like 3 of his fucking songs, and I'm sitting there, tears in my eyes, singing "Candle in the Wind" with a bunch. Man, I really felt like love emanating. Like I'm not a spiritual person in any way, shape, or form. Like when you're dead, you're dead. Souls are for
Mhm.
losers. Astrology's bollocks. Like we're conscious fucking monkeys on an accidental rock. But like I could feel the love emanating from my friends to me, and it was just such a warm experience. So just during this lockdown, the first lockdown, he was like, "Do you want some 2CB?" And I'm like, "That's exactly what I fucking need right now." So me and my friend Kai, we just sat in the garden, took it, and man, just like the proper, like every sitcom that's ever shown you like people on drugs, like that was us. We were stroking trees, like we're looking at leaves, and we're like, "Oh my god, the universe is all one."
I've had both of those separate. I cannot imagine them together. Like at least with one, I'm like, I had energy. I'm fucking hugging people. I'm like, I'm so thankful that I got these people in my life. The other one, like with mushrooms, I've never taken enough to get visuals because I'm genuinely horrified to see the stuff that's like deep in my head. But
Oh, mhm.
but like to like putting listening to some music and then just like looking at stuff because the number one thing that I've noticed is if you when you take mushrooms, your ability to focus is really fucking weird. Like if I was looking at this microphone, my whole world would exist around this microphone and it's kind of like if you have a camera that has like a really sharp or shallow lens and it's like
Aye.
it is the world for a moment. And so I just can't imagine those two things together. That sounds like debilitating.
No, no, but it's like it's like a milder version of both. And I mean, I've not done it. Like I did it once, and I've had another one in my house for 9 months now. Like again,
Also, I
I'm
just want
not.
to I want to throw in we are not advocating for drug use at
Oh
all.
yeah,
These
oh
are
yeah. Look,
personal
as
experiences and mistakes.
yeah,
But I
as
like good
someone
mistakes
who's
I
done
enjoyed.
loads, don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. Save
What's
them up
the
and
what's the
give them
dumbest
to
drug?
me.
What would you say is the dumbest drug you've ever done?
Um.
That you're like never again, or have you not?
Oh, fucking! There was a series of time where like any legal high, like, and I don't in America that's got a different meaning because like marijuana is a legal high.
Sure.
But what happens in the UK is like they'll ban a drug and then they'll just synthesize something else. And it's not natural. It's made of all these fucking chemicals, and people do it. So there was a drug about 9 years ago that was it was essentially like fucking some form of plant food that people, I think, snorted or put in the drinks. I had a friend give me a bit once, and it was horrible, man. It was like, it just made your teeth grind in.
Was it salvia?
No, Salvia is fucking awful as well. Like what a horrible experience.
I've only just seen
Salvia
like I've seen enough YouTube videos that I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I'm never never gonna do that.
Yeah, no, I did Salvia once when I was 17 at a music festival because I kept asking for weed and nobody had any weed. And they were like, this is like synthetic weed. And it's not that at all. And I remember taking a drag of it and just immediately my neck was connected to like a castle 2 miles away on a hill, but like a very solid metal rope, right? And I couldn't fucking move. And on the rope was like, you know, in The Labyrinth, have you seen the movie Labyrinth with David Bowie? Yeah, right. You know the fucking little British worm? Like, hello, governor! It's like a very small character in both time on screen and his actual size. He was on the wire and he's like, what's going on? And I'm like, well, I'm stuck here. I'm connected to this castle up there. I can't seem to move. And he was like, I'll chew through it. And I'm like, you're a tiny worm. This is like steel wire. It's ridiculous for you to consider that you could chew through this. And then it stopped and I was like, well, that's never happening ever again. And this is what I say to people. That's why you don't do drugs, right? I do them because I'm a fucking idiot, right? You don't do them. You don't need them. Trust me. True happiness is in your heart.
Except the cycle will just continue because everyone's got to make their own mistakes. That's what we learn. Except I will say, I joked about this in the show once. I feel like I'm the only person in this city that has not done cocaine. I've like the don't do cocaine messaging from my youth was very effective. It was very, very effective. And I was like,
man,
no.
I've done cocaine, and don't do cocaine. There's no need for you to do it. Like the problem with coke is you do it once, it gives you a bunch of energy, and you're like, this is great. And then it's that type of drug where you're just chasing that first high again. It's genuinely not fucking worth getting into.
Wait, no, I just remembered why. Like, I think the reason that I didn't do it is because I'm I like my money too much. My dad, that was like one of the things he always, like, my dad said a lot of the same things. He's like, I'd be like 13 and he's like, if you get a girl pregnant, you don't have to marry her. And I was like, I'm 250 pounds right now. This is not an issue for me, right? No one will talk to me. That's not an issue. But then among those, he was like, in cocaine, you stay away from it because it's really expensive and you're going to like it too much. And I was like, okay, noted.